If you've flown just with carry-on luggage, then you know the TSA regulations, if you're trying to bring skincare and makeup for one person, is ridiculous. Now multiply that by 2, and it was almost impossible to fit everything we needed into 2 quart-sized bags. But my daughter and I did it. And if you want to see what we settled on, then watch this get ready with me from my condo in Arizona. Since we had such limited space, we decided that we needed to bring products that we could both use for everything. Skincare, makeup, hair care, everything. Now, one thing we did do was wait until we got here to buy the travel conditioner, shampoo, body wash, that kind of thing, and we will just leave it here. So that helped a lot. The difficulty is we don't have the same kind of skin. Her skin is drier and paler than mine, and so we had to find products that we could compromise on that would give us both what we needed, but also strip our routines down to the bare bones. My skincare for these 5 days, 6 I guess if you count travel days, is cleanser, toner, moisturizer, and sunscreen, and that's it. Let me show you what I'm using here. I did bring a small pot of my cleansing balm so that I could get my makeup off, and I brought some disposable washcloths that were gifted to me by a company earlier in 2024. Those are actually working really well. For our second cleanse, we brought the Dove complexion bar. My daughter uses that all the time anyway, and it doesn't count in liquids because it's a solid bar. So that is one way you can get around. If anything that you can do in a bar or solid form, go that route. I put some of the Haru Haru Wonder Toner into this spray bottle, and I've been using that morning and night. This moisturizer from The Ordinary, the Natural Moisturizing Factors plus hyaluronic acid, is my daughter's normal daytime moisturizer, and so I am using this as well. It's working fine for me. I just need kind of a lightweight moisturizer for daytime because I'm kind of oily, but because we're in Arizona and it's really dry, this has been working just fine. It hasn't been too much moisture for me. And then I brought this little sample size of the Kiehl's Better Screen UV Serum. It's an SPF 50 plus, and so this has been great because it's really small and I'm enjoying using this. I definitely wanted to make sure that we had a sunscreen along with the Arizona sun. We each brought our own powder products. I did bring a stick blush. I think she brought a stick blush. These don't count as liquids, so wasn't an issue. But for primer, foundation, concealer, and setting spray, we had to share. And I'll show you what we brought when I get to those steps. In addition to makeup, skincare, hair care, all of that kind of stuff, we also had to be really strategic about what clothes we brought because, again, we each had one carry-on and then a personal item, which I had a tote bag, she had a backpack, but in her backpack was all of her dance stuff, shoes, tights, leotards, all of that kind of stuff. Fortunately for her, that's pretty much what she's living in while she's here, so she didn't need a whole lot of other clothes. And we did just do a load of laundry last night, so that also helped. Because everything I'm using is tried and true products that I know I like. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the makeup. I'll show you what I'm using, but it's obvious that if I brought it, I like it, so I don't really have to do any like specific reviews or anything. I did forget to bring my small clips, so I guess I get to use this big honkin' thing. Also, the only mirror that I have to use is in my palette right here, so I'm going to be holding and looking and hopefully not blocking the camera while I'm putting on my makeup. I did bring my Wet n Wild Hydra Depuffer. This is a stick. Doesn't count for a liquid, so it was just in my makeup bag and didn't have to go in the quart-size bag. Just tap that in. I just love how my under eyes look and feel when I use this stick. It will be an automatic repurchase when I get close to being at the end of it. My daughter's favorite primer is the Smashbox Photo Finish foundation primer, so we just went with that one. I have a lot of primers that I like, and so this one was fine. It is your standard silicone pore filling smoothing primer. It has that silicone slip that leaves your skin feeling kind of velvety, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a whole lot more looking at myself while I'm putting this on than looking into the lens of the camera and looking at you. So I'm just explaining that now, why I'm looking there, because like I said, this is the only mirror I have. And if I need both my hands, I can't hold it. Oh, I wonder if I could prop it up with my coffee cup. Okay, I think I finagled it so that I can see in my mirror looking down without actually like having to scrunch down. I've got it propped up on a book and leaning against my coffee mug, but I think it's gonna work at least until I need a drink of coffee. Then for foundation, we brought the Misha BB Cream. This is the shade 23. This shade actually works for both of us, and I have been so impressed with this foundation the last couple of days. I put it on at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 10 o'clock at night, my skin still looks really good. Not oily, not greasy, really good. And then I also brought my beauty sponge, and in order to be able to clean this, I cut off the end, oops, I'm dripping. I cut off the end of my Neutrogena bar and put it in the soap dish that we also put that Dove cleansing bar in to put that in the suitcase. It is working out fabulously. I've even cleaned a couple of my brushes with it. So if you've watched any of my videos, you know that that is my absolute favorite brush and sponge cleaning product. It's just that clear complexion bar, it's a couple bucks, and it does better than anything else I have used. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of this in the palm of my hand because I don't have my palette, and I feel like I lose less of it into my skin in the palm than on the back of my hand. And then just dab it in. This is a super cool tone shade, almost a little bit gray, but it works really well on my skin. And then tap it in. I can also apply this with a brush and I get a little bit better coverage, but the finish is still really, really nice. Doing your makeup away from home is always interesting because you just have to make do. If you've forgotten something, or you know, if the setup is different or the lighting is different. So you just kind of roll with it. And I have like gone to Ulta and Target and things, and it's so weird because there's no possibility of buying any liquids of any kind. And really, I can't buy anything because, I mean, I guess I could buy a lipstick or something like that because it would fit in my makeup case. But my suitcases are full, so not buying anything. I have a couple of areas that I want a little more coverage on, but I'll do that with the concealer. And the concealer we brought is also my daughter's. It is the Shape Tape Radiant, and I didn't think that I liked this or could use it, but honestly, it's been just fine. And I am using this as concealer and as eyeshadow primer. She brought her Milani eyeshadow primer, which I could use. I don't like it very well because it does great holding onto your eyeshadow, but it doesn't do anything for covering the lines and the redness and that kind of stuff that I have. So I did bring a full contingent of brushes in this soft makeup case because it just, you know, you can make it really small and it fit in. So I have all of my brushes that I need. And I brought my 10X mirror because I can't see anything without it. It does fine. I think I would like a little more coverage in here for the darkness than it gives, but honestly, it's been fine. And I brought my normal powders that I love to use. This is the Moira Set and Correct in the shade 200, and it's just kind of brightening and it does a good job setting. I think I'm going to use all powder products today, so I'm going to go ahead and set my face. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour powder that I got when I did the Wayne Goss Aquaphor hack. It's a little bit deep for me, so I have to be careful not to use too much. This is 118, and I would be better off with just like the next shade down, I think, 115. And that makes sense because my perfect shade in the Maybelline Fit Me foundation is 115, so yeah, I don't know why I went with this darker one unless there wasn't a different one available, but I'm not going to use my puff to put the powder on because that puts on too much, and I really am going to keep it kind of to the center of my face. If I get out here on the hairline, you can really see that it's too dark. I made that mistake the first day. It also gives just a little bit of extra coverage for this foundation that is pretty light coverage, light to medium maybe, but it just blurs everything out. For bronzer and highlight, I chose a palette. This is from Catrice. It's the Holiday Skin Bronze and Glow palette. I believe this is their dupe for a Charlotte Tilbury product, very similar to this. And this big fan brush that I've had forever. I absolutely love it. Pretty sure I got it on Amazon. And we'll just bronze with that. This palette, honestly, is really, really good. It's been kind of a weird few days. I feel like I've been kind of plucked out of time and space. And so I'm here and I'm not really on vacation, not with my whole family. We're not sightseeing. I don't really have any plans for my day, but I also am not like in my regular routine. I don't have all my stuff. So it's been a little bit odd to fill my days and figure out exactly what I'm doing or get into any kind of a rhythm. But it's also been kind of neat to just be and not have things that I have to do, chores at home, errands, that kind of stuff. It's been a little weird, but I'm kind of liking it. I have a fairly roomy makeup bag, so I did bring 3 blushes. Like I said, I bought this blush stick, which is a cool toned kind of sparkly blush. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow blush in the shade Dusty Pink. I just really like this. It's so pretty. It's cool toned, a little bit sparkly. Really like it. Then I brought my Essence Mosaic blush that has been in my Out the Door in 24 all year, that just never, ever, ever changes. And I've used that. But today, because I'm wearing this kind of foresty green, olivey green shirt, I'm going to use this Tarte Amazonian Clay Mini in Party Dress. I got this in an Ipsy. And I think this will go well with the look that I'm going to do today. I'm going to take a little over my nose to give me a little bit of a sun-kissed look. And then I'm going to go back into that CoverGirl palette for the highlighter and just brush a little right on the tops and front of my cheek. I think that this is a really pretty soft glow highlighter. It's not like beaming from space. It reminds me a lot of the Essence Pure Nude highlight. And then I'm just going to blend that so I don't have a stripe. Really like this little palette that I got from Catrice. I bought this, I believe, last year Black Friday when I did a full face of Catrice, and I will put that in the cards if you haven't seen it. I'm going to do my brows, and I'm going to use this CoverGirl Clean Fresh brow pencil that I bought, but I'm going to tell you now that I don't really like it. It is very stiff, and it breaks every time I try to use it. I have to be so careful and put up just the tiniest little bit, but then it gets used up and I have to put out more. It's kind of a pain. The shade that I have is blonde. The shade is really good. The pencil itself is just kind of a pain. So I don't know that I'll subject you to watching me struggle through using this. I'll be back when my brows are done. Wow, I didn't break it even once on that side. I just broke it on that side though. So it's not terrible, but it's not my favorite either. Along those lines, the one thing that I bought in my shopping was this LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I love this one, and I bought this at Five Below yesterday. So speaking of buying, if you watched any of my Vlogmas stuff, I will be starting a no-buy on January 1st, and I have been really trying very hard not to panic buy through the month of December, knowing that a no-buy is coming. I don't need anything, and if I run out of something completely in a category, if I completely use up a category of makeup, I am allowed to buy to replace that. That's not likely to happen except maybe in brow pencils, so that's why I felt like buying the Shady Slim brow pencil wasn't actually a panic buy, especially the way this one is breaking every time I use it. I'm going to go through it really fast. Anybody else experience that panic buy feeling if you're going into a no-buy? And my no-buy is only for the first quarter. I may extend it depending on how things go, but I generally do it from January 1st to March 31st because April is my birthday month and I allow myself a little leeway there, but I might pick it up again May 1st. So if you're planning a no-buy, Let me know down below so we can encourage each other to stick to it. I really want to use and enjoy what I have. Okay, I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics Smitten in Switzerland palette. This is one of my first big girl palettes back in 2018. So yeah, it's getting some age on it, but it still works perfectly. Has no smell. I plan to keep it until it violates one of those things. And you can see I have pan in a couple of shades because those are the ones I use the most. And I am going to use the greens today. So I will just start with Snowcap and go in crease to brow bone. I suppose I should have checked and made sure that that concealer wasn't creasing before I did that. Thankfully it's not, since I put a little powder up there. Just to brighten that area and help with blending. And then I'm going to go into Fondue. That's the other one that has pan in it, for my transition shade. And just put that right in the crease and pressing up into the brow bone, the underside of it. I don't want to get too close to the eyebrow. I think for the thumbnail for this video, I need to go outside and stand by a cactus. It's such a different landscape here than where I'm from. First of all, there's no grass at all, unless it's a country club golf course. And it's so strange when you see it, because everybody has just rock in their yard. If you're from Arizona, you're like, well, of course that's the way it is. It's not that there's no green, because there are green trees and palm trees, and people have flowering bushes in front of their houses and stuff like that. There's just no grass. The yards are all rock. And yeah, it's kind of, and I don't know why it surprised me. We got in the day after Christmas and it was nighttime. So obviously you couldn't see anything. And when I woke up the first morning and went out for coffee and to get stuff for breakfast, the sun was coming up, and I'll put a picture in. It was so pretty. And there were palm trees everywhere. I mean, I knew that there would be palm trees, but then waking up and seeing them, it was really cool. But I didn't expect the mountains all around. And I knew there, I mean, yes, intellectually I know that there's mountains in Arizona. It just surprised me because I wasn't expecting it. But they are some of the most desolate looking mountains. And yeah, we're in the desert and I get it. But anyway, just some things that surprised me on my first viewing of the actual landscape and that sort of thing. But it is pretty in a different way. Oh, my leg is going to sleep. And I've been enjoying driving around, kind of seeing how it's different from where I'm from. I'm going to go into Mountain down here and put that in the crease and outer V area. So what's coming up for me in January and in the new year? I've kind of alluded to that. There's going to be a no-buy. So there's going to be more content of shop my stash, use what you have, project panning, that kind of thing. I haven't decided exactly on the project pan I want to do. I know that I'm going to do just a general like 10 item rolling project pan that I'll update every other month, but I also want another like kind of a game or themed project pan that I will update on the other months. I will not do anything that I'm updating monthly, because I know for me that's a recipe for disaster, and I'm not going to set myself up to fail. So I've been considering deck of panning. I saw Andy do that one last year and it looked like a lot of fun. And so I'm considering that. I haven't decided if I'm just going to use a deck of cards we have at home or get, you know, some cute fun cards to do. But I have to look into that one more. I don't know exactly the rules and that kind of stuff. Hang on while I do my other eye. I also still intend to do my makeup inventory, and I really want to focus next year on using what I have and using products to completion. I had every intention of doing those inventory and declutter videos in December, but I also was participating in Vlogmas to a limited extent. I did 15 videos in 23 days, and I was really, really proud of myself for doing that. But that didn't leave any time to do the research and the prep work that I needed to do in order to do those declutter videos, because if I wanted to do any kind of dollar inventory or how long I've had it, that kind of stuff. I needed time to do that, and I didn't have the time. So I'm still planning on doing that. And if it takes me until February to get all of that done, then so be it. It takes me till February to get it done. I'm not going to let perfection get in the way of progress. And so you'll be seeing those declutter videos coming up through the month of January, maybe into February, but they will be coming. I'm going to go into Mount Rigi for my shimmer. So you will be seeing those. I'll also be doing my empties videos once a quarter. And with that, I think I'm going to reinstate my PUD project. It stands for Project Use Up the Dribs and Drabs. So any item that has just a little bit left in it, like this Smashbox primer would be a perfect prime candidate for PUD because there's not much left. It's not going to take many uses to get through that, and then I could get it out of my inventory. I have some powders, I have some foundations, concealers, things like that that are getting really low. So I'm going to put those in there. And that will also get updated with my empties videos. So it's just kind of a subset of my empties. I love that shimmer. Okay, this palette doesn't really have a good inner corner highlight, but that's okay because I brought another palette and I also have the highlight in that Catrice thing. So I brought the Lamora Nude, but honestly, I don't want to go that pink. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the Catrice and the highlight that's in there. Oh, I need my palette. I need this back. And use that in the inner corner and front part of my lid. Just for a little brightness, especially since that concealer is a little bit lighter coverage. I need a little more help right there. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, the eyeliner I brought is the Wet n Wild Sima Brown now that is also in my Out the Door in 24. I will be doing the final update for that project in the first week in January. You'll see that pretty soon. Again, I fully intended to make that part of Vlogmas. It just didn't get done. Once I got to Nutcracker performances, things got really crazy because I had to like kick Christmas planning into high gear and all of that kind of stuff, plus planning for this trip. My brain was just maxed out. Two things that we brought that count as liquids, but that we are not sharing: mascara and brow gel. Brow gel because she uses a clear and I need a colored one, and mascara for obvious reasons. We're not sharing mascara. So I brought the Catrice Color and Fix Brow Gel in Blonde. When you use a pencil, it colors the skin, but it doesn't color the hair. And so then you have blonde hair against the colored skin, and you need to just make them match. So, and I brought my e.l.f. Lash and Roll because then I didn't need to bring a lash curler because it does help curl them and keep them there. Oh, darn it, I should have done the setting spray first. Something else that's coming in the new year will be a reset and a refocus on my health and fitness, on productivity, on just kind of getting my act together a little bit. I feel like I've been all over the place this past year and just reactive, in reaction mode. And life is just kind of happening to me rather than feeling like I'm in control of anything. And I know sometimes control is just an illusion anyway, but I want to work on the illusion. I'm kind of interested to see what January is going to be like because for the first time since July, I don't have rehearsals for a play. I don't have anything like that coming up. I'm not going to be in anything for the next 6 months. And so I think I should have time to focus on some of those projects that have just gotten shoved to the back burner and forgotten about. I have decluttering things I want to do. I have channel goals that I want to work on, and I think I'm going to have time to do that. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, I'm gonna let that mascara dry and come back for the setting spray. Give me a minute. We both like the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. Obviously, this is not an Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray bottle. It's really big. You cannot have containers more than 100 milliliters, or 3.7 ounces, I think is the total. And so this was a setting spray that I actually used up, the Catrice Oil Control Matte Fixing Spray. Really like this setting spray. And it's a 50 milliliter bottle. So we popped the top off and put the all-nighter in there. For lips, I brought several options. I wanted a warm, a neutral, and a cool. Bullet lipsticks and liners don't count towards your liquids total, but glosses do. The one I'm going to wear today is my warmer option, and that's one of the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners. I have no idea what color it is. I wrote it on there. It wore off. I know that it's on the cap, but I can't read that. So it's one of the warmer ones. So I'm going to use that lip liner. Kind of a nude brown. And then the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in Trust Your Gut. I also brought this e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine in Happy, because this is nice if your lips are feeling really dry on the plane or something like that, and I can put this on without even using a mirror. So this one is more like lip balm, but I did bring the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. I don't know the shade, even with my readers and my contacts, I can't read it. It's kind of a rose, so rosy something, I don't know. But I can use this with pretty much any of the lipsticks that I brought because it is pretty sheer. And I like using it over those longer lasting lipsticks because it's just more comfortable. I also brought a more cool toned option, and that's the Moira Lip Appeal Lip Liner in Senorita. That's there. And the lipstick I brought to go with that is also from Moira. It is the shade Blossom. And it's a pretty cool toned pink. And then just a more neutral that I brought is my Moira Signature Lip Pencil in Posh Pink, also in the Out the Door in 24 project. More of just a neutral. I can also wear this with the lip crayon. I wouldn't have necessarily needed to bring this, but I did. And the Flower Beauty Matte Lipstick in Naked Blush. This is probably my most used lipstick. My Lips But Better. This is my second one of these. I've completely used one up, and this one is going to probably get used up as well. Then I brought this little bitty tiny lip gloss. It is the Revolution Relove brand that you can find at Walmart. The Baby Gloss lip gloss, and let me see if I can see what shade it is. Hang on, I need readers and contacts. Glam. And it is a cooler pink, and I can wear that with either one of those as well. So those are the lip options I brought. Everything was TSA approved. These two had to go in the quart bag. I didn't finish what I was talking about with the reset that's going to happen in January. I am going to do a 30-day hard-ish, okay? And the reason I say ish is because I know if I put too rigid and strict of instructions on it, that I will just be setting myself up to fail. It's kind of like panning. If I make it too hard, it's not going to happen. But also, anything is going to be better than what I've been doing. And so I will film a video completely about that so that if you want to join in, you can. It might not actually happen until like mid-January, and in that case, we'll just start where we are and go 30 days. So just know it's not going to be like January 1st, you're going to see this video from me. But I really want to focus on my health. I've checked my blood sugar a few times over the holiday season, and there have been times it's been pretty high. And I do not want to get into a situation where I am type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic or anything like that. So I'm going to do something about it now. And that means I am going very, very, very low added sugar. I'm not going keto. I'm not cutting out vegetables and fruit, but I am cutting out added sugars, and I'm going to start tracking on MyFitnessPal again. If I don't keep track, I think, oh, it's not too much. And then if I actually go back and add it up, it's a lot more than I think it is. So I'm going to keep track. Now, I'm not giving up vegetables. I'm not giving up fruits. I am giving up pasta, rice, and bread. I am gluten-free, but gluten-free products also have a lot of carbs, and they also impact my blood sugar. Rice is really, really bad for my blood sugar. Now, everybody's different. Rice might not be for you, but rice is really bad for me. I'm going to have some fitness goals. I'm not necessarily going to have weight loss goals because hopefully if I do things right, that's going to happen anyway, but that's not the whole point of this at all. And I'm going to focus on drinking more water. I'm going to work on moving more, moving every day. I'm going to work on productivity and having fun. And there's just a lot that's going to go into the year. I'm not going to start everything all at once because then I'll be overwhelmed and quit. So anyway, there'll be more about that coming up. And I want to do more vlogs. I had a lot of fun doing my Nutcracker Week vlog. Not very many people watched it, but that's okay because I had fun doing it. And I realize I'm not a very good vlogger yet, but if I do more, hopefully I'll get better. And then like I've been talking about for a while, I want to do more topics of interest to women in this middle stage of life. Maybe we'll talk about perimenopause, menopause. I am postmenopausal, and so maybe sharing some of my journey might be helpful to those of you who are coming into that season of life. And just empty nest stuff, decluttering my home, just all kinds of things that are of interest to me besides makeup. And of course, there'll still be makeup content. Sometimes I'll just do chatty get ready with me's like this, but there's just not going to be a lot of new product reviews. I want to focus on technique and color and just that kind of stuff. If all of that sounds interesting and fun to you and you're not currently subscribed, I'd ask you to take a second, hit that subscribe button, and become part of our family here. I think we have a pretty amazing community here, so I would like for you to be a part of it as well. Especially if you are a subscriber, don't forget to hit that like button because that tells YouTube that my subscribers are interested in this video and therefore other people might be interested in it as well. If you're not a subscriber and you hit the like button, that's good for me too. I hope you've enjoyed this Get Ready with me outside of my usual filming space. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye-bye.